Hi, welcome to this session on Final Draft. Final Draft is the industry standard screenwriting software that is used by screenwriters all across the world, predominantly in Hollywood. This is a format that is globally recognized, and this is what is primarily used for shooting all your favorite films, at least most of them. So, let's begin. So this is the home page of Final Draft. This is how it looks. Basically, there are so many options, but what you need to worry about in this video is this option at the top. Okay, and there is general, action, scene heading, character, parenthetical, dialogue, transition, shot, script title, end of script, and all that. So what we will do is we'll start with the script title. Just put any title. For now, I'm putting. Scene number 1 DK Productions. Now at this point what you have to do is you have to press enter. So the same options that you saw above will be available to you if you press enter on your keyboard. Once you press enter, you will see all these options, and we will have to first select scene heading. This is where you will be able to write what is the setup of the scene. Is it interior or is it exterior? Is it both interior and exterior? See, as soon as you press I, you will see suggestions. It says INT, or when you press E, you will see EXT, which stands for exterior. And there is also the option to do both exterior, interior. That means the scene starts outside and goes inside, or starts inside and goes outside. Or it can be done in any way. Let's simply start with a simple exterior. And our scene is on the bridge, so exterior bridge. And now we have to specify what time of the day it is. Is it day or is it night? Is it evening or morning? It can be anything. So let's just select day for now. And the next part is called, so this is the scene heading, and from here the next part is the action part. This is where you will start writing Alex. Alex is the lead character, and this Alex stands on the bridge. Alex stands on the bridge and is staring at the water gushing under it. The traffic is minimal. Alex is holding a blue balloon in his hand, and on which happy birthday is written. Let's say that's the scene. So Alex is standing on a bridge. It's daytime and there is water gushing under that bridge. And the traffic on the bridge is minimal. That means there is a scope for a lot of things to happen. There is not much traffic. And there is a balloon that Alex is holding which has happy birthday written on it. See, there is so much description you already given. And the next scene, next what happens? A red car approaches Alex and slows down a few feet away from him. So that means he's standing there and a red car approaches. So next, Alex notices the car and a smile erupts on his face. Jessica gets down from the driver's side of the car, of the red car. That means so many things have happened. Jessica gets down from the driver's side of the red car and closes the door. Now what does she do next? Does she walk toward him or does she stand there? She stands. She stands there. Now what you have to notice is it is important to give all these details to the director so that he will be able to write and plan his scenes accordingly. If you are writing that directly she closes the door and walks towards Alex, that means it's a different scene altogether. She is not rushing toward him, she is not even walking, she is just standing there, which shows a different kind of a scene. It portrays a different emotion. That means she is reluctant. These are the things that you need to take care of. If you were writing a novel, you could have written 20 lines describing her feelings, but in a screenplay it is not possible to write all that. So you just have to convey all the emotions that you want to convey through just actions. Now what happens next? Alex turns toward Jessica and Jessica smiles and has a tear in her eyes. That means, see, so there is something going on. There is a past story that we don't know about, but Alex has turned toward her. And Jessica smiles and she has a tear in her eye, and Alex almost loses the balloon but quickly takes control of it. That means he's not able to pay attention to what he was doing earlier, like holding the balloon tightly, because he has lost his, he's like surprised to see her, or there is something happening and he's losing control. And then what happens? They approach each other. After he sees her, she sees him, they slowly take steps and approach each other. So that's how you have to write it. They approach each other taking slow steps. And then a bus passes by, nearly hitting her car. That means the bridge is narrow and the bus passes by, nearly hitting her car, but she doesn't care. She's not even paying attention. So we have to write these subtle small things that will actually make a lot of difference to the whole setup. So it was fine until here. You wrote the scene heading, you wrote some action parts, you described what the characters are doing. But from here, it is time for them to speak. It is time for the actors to speak on screen. This is the most important part of the screenplay. It is dialogue. So what you have to do, you have to press enter again and select character. When you say character, Final Draft automatically formats it to the center of the page and the character's name comes out in capital letters. So when you write Alex, that gets registered as a new character. And only the first time you have to type the full name. After that, you will get all the suggestions that you want of all the characters that you've written so far in the script. And now what happens is Alex starts talking. So when he talks, the line starts at the center, not to the extreme left, not even where the character name starts. It starts in the middle. Like you can see right now. I knew you would come, he's saying. And then Jessica is replying to him. What is she saying? She would say something like, how could I not? Then Alex says, what does he say? Let's say, I wouldn't miss it for anything, or something like that. Or let's just say happy birthday first, because it's for her that he's holding the balloon. Happy birthday, Jessica. And she says, thank you so much. But at this point she has tears in her eyes. So what you have to do is, if you want to describe an action, you can't write action line again in between dialogue. So while speaking the dialogue, if the actor is performing some action, you have to write it in the parenthesis that you can get. It's called parenthetical. Parenthetical option exists so that you can describe the actions of the writer while they are speaking the dialogue. So Jessica, while saying thank you so much, she has tears in her eyes. Okay, that means you are describing something a little more which could not have been said using just the dialogue. So that's what's happening here. She has tears in her eyes and she says thank you so much. So this part is called parenthetical. This is how you enhance the emotion while you write the dialogue. And now you get back to action scenes because Alex breaks down and begins to cry. Alright, breaks down and begins to cry is the same thing. There's a redundancy error, but breakdown is more of an emotional thing and cry is basically an action. So Alex breaks down and begins to cry. Then Jessica hugs him tightly. And then what happens? Let's say a black car comes and stops nearby, or let's say it approaches them and stops at a distance. That means someone is there. They are watching. We don't know who they are. I just created that character on the fly. And then Alex says, again we are back to dialogue again. So you have to format accordingly, select character, pick Alex and write his dialogue. Did you notice that when you typed J, you got the suggestion for Jessica, and automatically the engine and Final Draft recognizes that there's a dialogue between Alex and Jessica, so it automatically recommends. So Alex says, let's go away somewhere far, and Jessica says, I'll go anywhere with you, and Alex says, come on. Then what are we waiting for? So they've made up their mind to be together and they're leaving. And then we switch back to the action where it says Alex and Jessica get into the red car and drive away. We have to specify red car because there is also another car we introduced, which is a black car. We don't know who is inside that car or what that car is supposed to be doing there. We don't know all that, but we have to be specific when there are multiple cars. So Alex and Jessica get into the red car and they drive away. And for the final transition, what you have to do is just pick transitions and you have to write. When you select C, when you type C, you will see cut to. Most of the scenes are cut. Okay, there are many different types of transitions. There is fade in, there is fade out, there is cut to or jump cut, and then there is cut to flash cut, and then there is flashback begins, flashback ends. There are so many other different kinds of transitions, but it's a very simple one. We are writing a very simple scene today, so I just included cut to. When you say cut to, it means you're cutting to another scene. Now after this, what happens next is another scene. Follow the same steps and write your next scene, and scene after scene you will be able to finish your screenplay. Remember, all you need is minimum 43 scenes for a feature film. So if you are able to successfully write 43 scenes, this is a short one. It was only 1 page long, but there are like 2 or 3 page scenes or 4 page scenes max. And then if you're able to write 43 scenes, you have a movie on your hands. So basically, it's all about writing 43 to 45. Let's say 50 scenes carefully. If you're able to write, you have a screenplay on your hands. So all the best. Good luck.